Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua Armenta, and with Mizuki here, we are going to be just going over Music Therapy 101. I am a junior at ASU, and Mizuki is a senior. So we're just going to dive right in, talking about music therapy. So, first off, what is music therapy? Normally, we would have some people like answer or like just like share their thoughts and opinions. Um, so, I was wondering if anybody here would like to just maybe speak up if they have any idea of what maybe music therapy is. No one? That's all right. That's all right. No, we're just getting started, so it's okay if nobody wants to talk. No problem. So, according to the AMTA, music therapy is the clinical and evidence based use of music interventions to accomplish individualized goals within a therapeutic relationship by a credentialed professional who has completed an approved music therapy program. So, that's kind of a lot to digest. So, if we just kind of break it down, there's a few key things that we have to keep in mind. So, first, there must be a board certified music therapist. So some people might say like, oh, can I just like play? Maybe I just like I'm a singer and I play piano or I play my guitar. That actually has to be from a licensed board certified music therapist. And then another thing that will make it a music therapy intervention session is that there also has to be a client. And with a client, there also needs to be a need for the client to be there. So, and we will get in like later to different goals and objectives that a client may need based on their demographic and their needs. And then, of course, the last and most final piece to make music therapy is music. There must be music. This could be from live music. It could be from a music therapist actually sitting there and singing and playing an instrument. It could also be recorded music. There's really there's no limits, just music. And that equals music therapy. So getting into who do music therapists work with? We work with everyone from babies all the way to the elderly. So we work with clients that can be in the NICU, which is the neonatal unit in the hospitals. We can work with children in schools. We can, or maybe even like preschools. We can work with adolescents, those are that are in like high school or middle school, all the way to adults and to end of life. So anybody in between, everyone is welcome to receive music therapy. There is no age limit. There's no we take everybody. We're willing to help everyone that is in need. So since we've talked about the some age groups, now we're gonna like talk more about some disorders or some diagnostics that some people might have. Just to keep an open mind, this list is just a few of the ones that are out there. There's tons more, but these are just a good basis to get us going, just to get our thoughts turning and like thinking more about like what other people are going through. So just as you can see, there's a lot. So we're just going to touch through a few of them. But there's dementia, there's traumatic brain injuries, often referred to as TBIs. There's strokes, Parkinson's disease. There's we also can work with those in the mental health. Developmental disabilities are also a really big one. There's also substance abuse disorders as well as physical disabilities. What or how does music therapy help? So we're going to dig into something that will break it down into different areas. So there are five that we're going to talk about depending on what website you're looking at. Sometimes they'll be listed as four. As you can see here, we've combined psychosocial. Some don't do that. There's also another one which is spiritual that's not listed on here, so that's also something to keep in mind. But so for this sake, we're just going to talk about the five different ones: is cognitive, motor, communication, psychosocial, and emotional. So now with my partner Mizuki, we're just gonna just like list out a few like different interventions, different things that can be applied to each domain, just to give you some thoughts and ideas of how we can actually help those with cognitive, motor, communication, psychosocial, or emotional. So starting with cognitive, Mizuki, would you like to say something?
Yeah, so with the cognitive domain, we mainly just work on those cognitive skills, like anything pertaining to the brain, I guess. And this can be with memory for dementia patients, for example. Attention to task is a huge one for anyone with who is seeking a music therapy service, as well as like following direction. And with kids especially, we focus on reading and writing, as a lot of our cognitive skills kind of align with like those IEP meetings, for those who need extra help in school. So a lot of these cognitive skills, it's really more about how we think and how we can help them to think a little better using music. Right. And then, so with the motor domain, our goals is usually pertains to physical movements. That can be like lower extremity, which means like your hip down, upper extremity, which is like your hip up, I guess, like above the hip. Um, and with these, our goals can talk about improving like the range of motion or gait training. If someone loses their ability to walk, we can use music to help them walk again at a steady beat. Um, and we also work on fine motor skills, so like those finger dexterity. Some children on the autism spectrum or ones with developmental disabilities, they can't like separate their fingers sometimes. So we work on those as well. And then for older adults, it's more about the maintaining your abilities, because healthy aging means that you're going to have some cognitive and physical decline. So it's less about improving, more about maintaining and not letting those skills decrease. All right. And then next we have the psychosocial or communication domain.
So this is like, especially for social skills, turn taking is a big thing that we don't really think about, but is definitely necessary to install, specifically for those on the autism spectrum. Sometimes they get overwhelmed and they can't focus on a task at hand. So, and in social settings, it's very important to learn turn taking skills and allowing space for other people to do things. So social communication is like a big one. Learning like when to talk, like when not to talk, things like that. Some So for example, right now I'm working in a practicum unit with like a rock band clients, and they're like they're practicing working in a group setting, and they're using team working skills constantly to make music. So that was an example of psychosocial and communication. Also, listening skills is a very big one. I don't want to pass that one up as well. Listening is huge. Moving on to emotional. So a, a big thing is with emotional is like teaching coping skills, and coping skills can definitely start from like the adolescent age all the way to adulthood. Um, Self-expression is another important don't goal that we try to do as well for the emotional specifically, because oftentimes we don't have a space or a place in our lives to self-express, and through music therapy we can provide that. A few other areas that we can work with are, like we mentioned before, are the treatment of substance abuse and grief and bereavement, and everything from relaxation to mood regulation. And coping skills and mood regulation kind of go hand in hand, but they are both very important skills to be taught. So moving on to, where do music therapists work? So this may sound pretty self-explanatory, but we can work anywhere from hospitals to uh, schools to correctional facilities to outpatient clinics to community mental health centers to drug and alcohol programs. The list goes on and on where we can work. But the main thing is going back to the first slide is that it must be with a licensed certified board music therapist. And just because there is a location on this list that, or just because there's a location that's not on this list does not mean that we won't work in it. The possibilities are endless wherever we can go. All right. So the age-old question, what do I have to do to become a music therapist? You may not know, but each location, like wherever you live, may have different teachings and things like that. But overall, the most important thing is that you must be enrolled in an accredited music therapy program. So this will vary from state to state. Like what actual courses you will take will vary from state to state, but the main course route will be the same. So you'll have music classes, you'll have music therapy classes, you'll have biology, psychology, you'll have social behavioral sciences, and you'll have your general ed studies. So that is pretty much the meat of your coursework towards getting your diploma. And you also have to complete 1,200 hours of required fieldwork. This is going to be after you complete your course degree program here at ASU. And then after, you'll do a 6-month internship. So you'll graduate, but you're not technically graduated until you complete your 6-month internship. And then after your internship, that is when you can go and take your board certification exam. And then after that, you will be an accredited board certified music therapist. So it says it's easy, just follow these steps. But the main thing is just to take it one step at a time, and eventually you will get to taking your board test. I'm sure Mizuki can attest to that. Time probably went by so fast for her. This will not apply to other music therapy programs, but this is specifically to the ASU. These are a few courses that a few students have felt like maybe they weren't aware of. So we wanted to include it in the slideshow just to make them aware for anybody watching, especially for the freshmen or the sophomores who may not quite know all about the music therapy degree program that they're in. So there's a few courses that we will have to take. There's SBE 222, which is the Orientation to Education of Exceptional Children. Next is Bio 160, an Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology. I do want to say for Bio 160, it's very hard to get enrolled in that course because they save a lot of the seats for the biology majors. So there was a lot of advocating done from the classes previously to try to get more seats open for music therapy students. So this is why we're bringing it up now as well, so that you can get it in your mind and try to take it as soon as possible. And the next is CDE 232, which is a human development course. And Psych 366, Psychology Disorders. Here we also have our music major map. You can see that this is for the year 2021 to 2022 major map, music therapy for a bachelor's. And it'll have everything spaced out for you. It'll tell you like term 1, term 2, and all the courses that you will need to take. As you can see, the minimum grade is C. That's going to be for a lot of your courses.
Yeah, and then one thing to add to the major map too is that this is just like a suggested timeline. Anything with the exclamation point like on the left, those classes are required for you to take when it tells you to, but other classes you can just take whenever you want. It's really just like a suggested timeline, so don't feel like you really need to take these courses, but it is really beneficial to follow this. Yeah. And I'm a double major in psychology too, so like I honestly didn't really follow this major map just because I had other classes to take and classes to prioritize. So yeah, just one thing that I wanted to add.
No, thank you. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. So we've included a few videos. Just to show you like what music therapy might look like in a few different like settings. This first one, we have the NICU patients here at Banner Health. And here's just a short video.
Hello, Miss Boston. Oh, you're gonna make it a big stretch. Hello. Hello, sweet pea. Oh, you're nice and warm. I'm Sarah Erb. I am the music therapist here at Banner Children's at Desert. Music therapy is an evidence-based practice where we get to use music as our tool to address those non-musical goals that our patients here at the hospital might be working on. Sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy. So I enter the room and always say hello to the infant before I touch them or pick them up. I think it's really important that we introduce ourselves so that they know who's holding them and who's touching them, even if they don't really understand it completely. Begin humming to them lightly so that they can be introduced to the sound. And then from there, if they tolerate that, moving to singing. From there, if they tolerate it and they're the correct age, we can move into a little massage, which is essentially just light touch, helping prepare them with the sensory aspect of the music therapy. Hickory dickory dock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's a pretty special moment. I hear a lot of people say they wish they could just hold babies and sing to them all day. And it's just like a peaceful place to be to help them grow and develop. Getting to hold babies, it's very awe-inspiring and helps remind us about life. It's cool to see and work with these very new lives who haven't been here very long, and helps remind at least myself why I'm here and what I'm doing. How I wonder what you are.
So as you can see, we do work with little babies all the way up to the elderly. I do want to make note though, to work in the NICU unit, it is additional training, and on top of having your board certified music therapy license, you will also have to go to additional training to work in the NICU. So here, we're almost done. We're gonna just show you this resource list. Look at the comment section below. We'll add this list here so you can easily access each of these. But just to briefly talk about these, Mizuki, do you mind just like talking a little bit about a little bit of each one of these?
Yeah, so the first on the list is American Music Therapy Association's website. This is what music therapy is kind of governed under in the United States right now. It provides a lot of resources for music therapists, and potential music therapy majors, as well as it gives you a list of all the accredited universities that provide music therapy degrees, like Josh mentioned and earlier, as well as national roster internship sites across the United States. It's a really good resource, and it even provides some demographic information of how music therapy is used in each setting. So it's really cool. You guys should go check it out. And then the second one is the Western Region of American Music Therapy Association. Arizona is in this region, and I believe AMTA has 5 or 6 chapters. There's the Great Lakes, Midwest, Western region, to name a few. Sorry, I can't remember all of them. But this one also provides a lot of resources for the Western region specifically. So yeah. And then here's Arizona Music Therapy Association, which is the Association for Music Therapists in Arizona. It also provides a lot of resources only pertaining to Arizona. So, and each state usually has one that's something like this. So if you Google the state and then the Music Therapy Association, something should come up. And it's just kind of honing down region by region from AMTA to AZMTA. And then the music therapy major map, as we showed you guys before. And then we have some links to the Instagram that we think is pretty useful. The first one is us. I guess it's only good if you go to ASU and is a music therapy major, but we post a lot of announcements and things that we've done. It's pretty cool. It's cute. There's a theme every year, so it's like different. And then the next one is gonna be Music Therapy Ed. This one is kind of just like it provides music therapists like resources, but also like encouragement. As you can kind of see in here, regardless, it's still a good resource. And then we have Music Therapy Ed Now, which is run by current students, both undergrad and graduate students. And right now they're doing a lot of like takeovers, student takeovers that kind of talks about their experience at their university, as well as like important information about music therapy. This is a really good Instagram source. We also have Music for Kiddos. And this one is only for kids, but Stephanie is a great music therapist. She provides us with a lot of songs that we can use for interventions, especially with kids. And if you join her newsletter, you actually get a lot of free songs. And they come with lead sheets, the recording, and I guess it's just the lead sheet and the recording. But it's a super helpful page to follow if you're especially interested in working with kids. And then we also have the AMTAS, the AMTAS, which is the first one. Yeah. And this one is governed by the American Music Therapy Association for Students. So we kind of have a student chapter here, and it also talks about important resources, things to know. I guess they're having an internship fair on November 19th, and I think it's free. So if you guys need like internship sites, I think you should go. I don't know. But yeah, these are some sites. If you look up music therapy, I'm sure there's going to be other resources.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the MTSO website or to the Instagram page, or however you feel like. Thank you for your time, and take care.